The Podcasting Dead is available on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, and SoundCloud. Make sure to subscribe for more podcasts. And while you're at it, drop us a like. If you want to help support the channel and have access to extra content and more, make sure to search for us on Patreon. Patreon.com/thepodcastingdead.
All right, it is time for another Weird Wednesday. I'm Justin. Joining me,
I'm Jessi.
And then we've also got Marvelous Matt. He's no longer Matty Dubs. He's going to be hence known as Marvelous Matt.
Love it.
And we've got Sexy Seth.
Hey!
Hey, it's an awesome force.
Have you thanked the Seth today? Because, you know, he's running the board here and handling all the video things so that I don't have to.
I'm gonna try.
You're a lifesaver.
Seth is a lifesaver.
Justin doesn't have time for that kind of stuff anymore.
I don't. But today, since Weird Wednesday is the one time a week where we talk about really weird stuff, today we're going to be talking about weird medical conditions, which is fitting because Marvelous Matt there is actually in the medical field, so I feel like it would be kind of fitting to have him weigh in on some of these really weird medical conditions.
I don't want to be anymore.
You don't want to be in the medical field no more?
No.
He is conflicted.
I am conflicted.
I find myself saying that quite a bit.
If only you
That's
knew
at
the
least
backstory.
once a day.
So
at least once a day,
if you're new to the channel, make sure to check us out. Subscribe. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can go back through all of our podcasts from day one, which was in like 2015. And if you're listening, I think on iTunes and SoundCloud, you can only go back like the last couple weeks. But still,
Yeah, 3.
consider subscribing and check out our Patreon. So who's ready for the first one?
Me?
So has anybody heard of Jerusalem syndrome?
Nope.
Me neither.
What is it?
Well, this comes from Everyday Health, and it says, unless you've read comedian Mark Maron's memoir, The Jerusalem Syndrome, My Life as a Reluctant Messiah, you probably don't know much about this psychological disorder. It occurs when a visit to the Holy Land triggers obsessive ideas about religion and even delusions. The condition can affect anyone regardless of religion. Symptoms may include compulsive cleaning and grooming. I thought that was just like OCD. Wearing white robes and sermonizing.
What?
I didn't even, is that a real word?
Sermonizing.
Like, is that what you preach? I'm going to sermonize your ass. But it says sufferers without a pre-existing psychiatric condition typically return to normal within 5 to 7 days, feel some shame about their behavior, and recover completely, says Christine Montross, MD, Assistant Professor of Psychiatry and Human Behavior at Brown University. Matt, give us some medical stuff. What's up with that?
Y'all didn't study that in school?
Just give it time. Give it time. Let him realize it.
Any minute now. Oh, he's muted.
this
Yeah.
mic has.
Mute it again.
Let me.
Oh, there he goes. Oh, mute.
I
Unmute. Mute.
just have to use the native microphone on here.
Yeah, you're.
This is so interesting. You gave me a faulty mic.
No, your computer's conflicted because you have 2 microphones plugged into it and it doesn't know which one to use.
I think it is. It doesn't know what to do. Yeah, it's like.
It is conflicted.
Does this sound all right?
Yeah, this sounds great.
Is this doable? Okay.
Yeah, you sound great. You sound better than you did.
I was saying, like, I don't have, unfortunately, I don't have much expertise in the psychological realm. So I don't have much way in that. I deal with a lot of crazy people on the daily, but I don't understand them.
What do you think this? Oh, Matt. It's
Hello.
like you're mounting us.
This is Fantastic Foursome. Get naked.
So I don't know, Jessi, what do you think would cause something like that?
I was thinking maybe it has something to do with ley lines.
Ley lines?
Yeah.
Explain. What are ley lines?
Well, ley lines are, I don't know exactly, but when they, I guess, intersect, this like very powerful spots on Earth or something. I don't really know exactly, but maybe that has something to do with it. Like, because it's the Holy Land. What is the Holy Land?
It's God's chosen kingdom. It's where like all the Bible stuff happened.
Yeah, but where is it?
Like Jerusalem.
Okay.
Hence Jerusalem
I mean,
syndrome.
maybe that's why all that cool shit happened there.
Maybe.
Oh.
But yeah, so apparently people be getting their religion on. This one from Medical News Today, I found this one to be interesting. And Matt, you've probably heard of this one, but most of us can only experience drunkenness and the ensuing rough morning after having had a few stiff drinks. While the alcohol may give us a pleasant high at first, the hangover is usually a harsh reminder that our bodies do not appreciate how much partying that we do. There are, however, people who experience intoxication and hangovers without drinking a drop of alcohol.
What?
Or hardly any of it. These people have a rare condition called Auto-brewery syndrome or gut fermentation syndrome.
Yeah, I've heard of that.
In which pure alcohol is produced in a person's gut after they've eaten carbohydrate-rich food. So like eating a lot of carbohydrates will be converted into alcohol and you'll get drunk off of carbs.
Off of bread.
Yeah.
That is
I'm Italian. I'm down for that.
Well, and if you've got a gluten intolerance, not only will you get drunk, but you be shitting everywhere.
That would be me.
Drunk and shitting everywhere.
I mean, what else is new?
In excess of some doctor word I cannot pronounce, Saccharomyces.
Sacagawea?
No, that's a Native American. A type of yeast. Okay, let's just say that. An excess of a type of yeast in the gut is the main culprit, which leads to the fermentation process that produces ethanol. However, researchers note that the spontaneously produced alcohol would not be enough to land someone in a drink driving charge, since it would not lead to high enough levels of blood alcohol. But I have heard a story of a woman who went out with her husband. They had dinner and they had to go somewhere separate. She got pulled over and she had purposely only had like a couple of drinks to avoid getting intoxicated. And she gets pulled over and she's acting fine, but she blows way, way over the limit there. But it turned out that she had that.
That is crazy.
And what her body had already produced and eating all that pasta and all that bread combined with the few drinks she had just put her way on up there.
Get your party on, girl.
Matt, have you ever encountered that in the wild?
No, that is such a rare occurrence. I don't think I'd ever see one in the wild here.
Would they need
I've
you
seen
to
a lot of drunkos coming.
Have you ever had to scan any drunkos?
Oh yeah. Sometimes I'm the one scanning.
So Matt works at the hospital and does all kinds of different things, from sonograms to just looking inside your body at your most intimate parts. What is the
A lot of genitalia.
wildest thing you've seen? We might have talked about it on Patreon, but not on the main channel.
Man, wildest thing I've seen. I think like the weirdest one for me. There's weird conditions that I guess are kind of common, but the weirdest unusual thing I've seen. There's a condition where baby's guts can essentially be on the outside of its body.
Oh
gosh!
So it's like you put the camera down on a pregnant gal, and you see the baby's intestines floating around it. I'm like, well, that's weird.
Whoa! So that's inside the womb that the internal organs.
So they get a little abdominal wall defect, usually on the right side, and then their guts essentially herniate, and they just kind of float out in the amniotic fluid.
Does the baby survive that?
Yeah, that's actually a very treatable condition. They just tuck it back in and patch it up.
Holy moly!
That just goes right back in there. I'm just gonna push that in.
Oh,
like hemorrhoids.
It's called gastroschisis.
Is that how hemorrhoids work?
That's what I do with mine.
On the yeasts.
Schisis.
I've heard women can get hemorrhoids during childbirth, but I imagine doing all that pushing
Yeah.
Has anyone ever had a hemorrhoid?
I mean, I have hemorrhoids because I have kids. I just push them back.
Wait, you have them because you have kids?
Yeah.
How does that what one?
If you do a lot of straining, it's going to put pressure on those veins, and they're going to get weak and dilate.
Yeah, but your kids are your youngest is 4.
It doesn't go away, and because it's I didn't even give birth. I had C-sections, but the hemorrhoids came from pushing out a brick of a turd afterwards.
Oh.
It was bad.
Rock solid.
It was big. and hard, just like.
What was bigger, the poop or the baby?
But yeah, I mean that's when they started.
Wow, I had no idea.
It all went downhill after little Tommy was born.
Yeah. Now the whole world knows.
All right, so this one is pretty wild. It's there's two from the same site. It's Live Science, but the first one is called walking corpse syndrome, and this is a disorder.
Every morning when I go to work.
Yeah, that's me before I have my coffee. This was first described in the 1880s by neurologist Jules Cotard. It involves a person believing that they are dead or soulless, or that parts of their body which are intact are missing, including organs and blood.
What?
One review of this syndrome found that it's often seen in patients who have severe depression. Cultural beliefs such as folklore about creatures that take organs or cause death in ways that can't be perceived may also contribute to this rare disorder. I mean, like, is that a real disorder, though? It like just one, like a couple of people, you know what I mean? Like, you wonder if they truly believe that, or if it's just, I don't know.
I mean, I guess they're extremely delusional, but like I'm like, you're describing me every morning before I go to work.
Oh, definitely describing me before
Like
I
that.
have coffee.
Yeah. Well, I mean, honestly, your mind can do some crazy shit. So I think that's totally possible for you to think that you're missing limbs when you're not. Or wait, did you say limbs? I pictured limbs.
Sometimes they believe that limbs that are still intact are actually gone.
What
that they're
about
actually dead?
What about people whose like hand will like take over and start doing stuff without them?
I'm glad you mentioned that because that's on this list.
Okay, because I've always wondered about that. You can't even trust
You
your
know
own
what freaked
body.
me out once?
What?
So talking about like missing limbs, my right shoulder is hypermobile. Like I can get it behind my head pretty easily here. Like it's not supposed to go that far back. But one night I woke up and my arm was like this behind my head and it went asleep. So like I woke up like, oh my God, like my right arm is gone. I was freaking out.
Oh, that is hilarious.
So what's this called? So what is this syndrome called?
This one, that one is called what was it called? Walking corpse syndrome.
All right, I'm gonna use that in defense if I ever have to jack somebody. Like I didn't have control of my hand.
Yeah.
Oh, that's.
I totally heard that a different way.
Oh man, come on, dude! Don't do me like that, bro.
I didn't know what you were saying, but that excuse would still work.
I'm leaving.
Yeah.
You better come back,
No, sexy
It's on
Seth.
the record.
Oh no.
Seth.
Oh no.
There he is.
Come on back. Come
Yeah,
out
I'm
for
just gonna
shell.
start. I'm just gonna yeah.
No, whenever I actually, like pay for StreamYard, I'm gonna like disable the ability to like put a picture up. Like you have to be on camera at all times.
Why did I think you were gonna say strippers? I thought you were gonna say pay for strippers.
I mean, if I get if enough people join our Patreon, we can pay for strippers.
We could podcast at the strip club
That'd be loud.
while we eat some steak.
Seth, that would work if you didn't have those moving lights behind you disrupting the green screen, and if it was anything remotely close to what you're wearing now. For those listening and not watching, Seth is having all kinds of the lighting.
Kevin.
Okay.
I know the lighting's giving away.
It's yeah.
Having some sort of identity issues.
Yeah, I'm multiple people. I put my head down like this, it'd be Tommy.
I like that
Jessi?
Futurama.
Justin gets it. Justin gets it.
I get it. Right now, what I got is Jesse's burp whiff working its way over here.
Oh.
All right, so this one is called Stone Man's Disease. Has anybody ever heard of this one? Stone Man's Disease?
Stone Man's
Is
disease.
that like the...
Is it Michael Chiclet in 2002 or 1? That's the thing.
I'm not gonna lie. Michael Chiclet. Who is that?
I just picture... I don't know
Who's
what
the
that is
thing?
either.
Are you talking about Michael Chiklis?
Maybe.
Oh! I know who you're talking about.
Michael
Does he have
Chiklis? I know
chicken
Dickless from Michael Chiklis.
All right, so Stoneman's disease is a disorder of the connective tissue where ligaments, tendons, or skeletal muscles
really
essentially
calcified?
turn into bone. People who have this condition, properly called
Fibrodysplasia dysplasia.
Yeah.
Dysplasia.
Jesus, that's why we got the medical guy.
Yeah.
They call it FOP for short.
Like what?
FOP.
Ossificans dysplasia.
Fat ass pussy.
I got that FOP.
Oh, it's FOP.
That's fought off pussy.
I don't want FOP. I'm a Dapper Dan man.
I want
As like your bones are locking up, you're like, I don't want FOP.
Well, it's not even your bones locking up. Like your muscles and tendons like turn to bones. Like you essentially become like one big husk of calcium.
I don't even need to read that, Matt. Please, it's so refreshing that someone can explain this without having to read it.
know.
Tell us, Matt. Tell us about this.
It's like imagine like you got your skeleton, but then like imagine if your muscles started turning into bone, like your muscles and tendons, so like you just become like one big calcified monstrosity.
Does it make you look lumpy?
Oh God, yes.
She's so lumpy.
Seth, you're the one in control.
You
Like,
got lumpy butt.
look up Fibrodysplasia dysplasia and like put a picture of it of someone's
Yeah,
skeleton.
look
on there.
that up.
What's
And if you're
what's
listening
that
on
called?
iTunes or
Type
SoundCloud,
in F.
Put it in the private chat. Type in the private chat. I'll copy paste
Yeah.
it because
he's using them big
You
words
don't know how to spell
Yeah.
that.
coming from the girl who couldn't spell celery.
I thought it had 2 L's.
Oh, it has the one. But anyways, no, but it is refreshing to have someone that can actually talk about that and not have to read about
I
it.
know.
Have y'all ever seen that? And is that super rare, Matt, or is that something y'all have ever come
Oh
across
yeah,
in the
that's
hospital?
also one thing that's insanely rare.
Fibro. So if you're listening on iTunes, Spotify, any of that, this will give you motivation to go over to the YouTube and watch this so you can see what is about to be put on the screen here.
Check out that long
Are you gonna
word.
stay on Spotify? You're not gonna pull your music?
No, I'm cool with Joe Rogan. I'm cool with Joe Rogan. Oh, what are we looking at here?
I don't know.
It's like you can
I
see
don't
essentially
know.
like if you look at that middle top one,
Right here?
The
like essentially right there,
middle?
like where his shoulder would be, like where the trapezius muscle and whatnot is at. Like it's now just like one big sheet of calcium.
Ugh.
Yeah, like where his latissimus is and where his scapula is at.
And
Oh,
I don't know
God.
what you're talking about.
Like your back and side latissimus dorsi.
Right in through here?
That's actually the neck. That'd be like would be upper trapezius.
Like this right here?
So you see where his right arm is at?
Right
Kind of
here.
mid right arm. Yeah. Now just go to the left of that.
This might
You
be
see
an
that big-
iPhone. It might be mirrored.
Could be. Yeah.
I'm gonna say this is his right arm.
Yeah. That's from my perspective. That's his right arm because he's facing
Okay.
away from us. Yeah. So now if you run down his side there, so that's the
Oh,
lower lat muscle.
yeah.
It's
That's-
like it's just one sheet of calcium.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah.
I bet he or she was in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
Matt, doesn't it get so bad like they just basically stiffen up and
Ugh.
just can't?
Yeah, that was like
Hey, there's your lumps,
Ugh.
Jesse.
that's
My
that's
lovely
rheumatoid
knuckle lumps.
arthritis there. That's an autoimmune disorder. That's
Oh,
not
I was gonna say that
fibromyalgia.
rib for her pleasure.
Yeah. She could finger bang the hell out of you. That's rib.
Gross. Y'all are nasty.
Why is tonight's podcast so perverted?
This needs to be on the Patreon.
I mean, yeah, it's normally we reserve
could be there,
perversion
yes.
for Patreon. So, speaking of which, good plug. Go check out our Patreon.
I did that on purpose.
Especially
The link
last
should be in the
week's.
description. If it's not, it's just its fault. It should be down below.
It should be, but
It
will
wasn't
it be?
last time that I was on here.
Look, man. Look.
Come on, man.
All right. So last week's, if you check out our Patreon, you get to hear Jessi really drunk last week. Well, I mean, she wasn't like sloppy, dumb drunk, but she was feeling good and just
yeah.
letting in on a lot of details.
I was pretty buzzed.
It was a good
On the
time.
deets.
So moving on to the next one from Thought Catalog. This one's called fish odor syndrome. Hold on. No, I
think
knew
several people.
I knew where this was going. So,
Hey, that's the
I am conflicted.
what is it? The mayor of in Bob's Burgers. His name is Mr. Fish Odor.
is it really?
Yeah, I think he's the mayor.
Huh. Well,
Anyway,
he
sorry.
might have trimethylaminoria. I'm sure
Nailed
that's
it.
exact. I'm sure that's exactly how the doctors would say it.
Trimethylamine?
Yeah, probably. It's trimethylaminoria. Man, I'm not smart enough for these terms. But anyways, it's an incredibly rare metabolic disorder which causes a person to have a strong body odor that resembles fish.
That sucks.
Yep. The buildup and release of trimethylamine, which is that was a better pronunciation than the first
The
try.
fish molecule.
Which is excreted through sweat, urine, and breath, is what creates the odor. This disorder is more common in women than men. They got that fish stank. But this is observed that there are no physical symptoms that accompany. That sucks, man. To walk around smelling like fish.
Maybe that's proof of
You got that
mermaids.
fish stank.
So so you think that could be proof of mermaids?
Heck yeah.
That's why I don't smell like fish because I don't clean myself. It's because my ancestors were mermaids.
Exactly. That's what I'm gonna say next time.
But I don't take a shower for a few days and somebody's like, man, you stink. Be like, hey, don't make fun of my mermaid heritage.
That's racist.
That's mermaidist. How dare you make fun of the mermaids? All right, Matt, have you ever, I know that you've dealt with some stinky patients before. Have you ever dealt
I've
with
had some
anyone
stank.
with that? Have you ever heard of that disorder?
I've had people with fishy odors, but I don't know if it was from that per se. Mostly they got a hell of just some bad BO and probably crapped themselves.
I mean, that's got to be a rough for Seth. You ever dealt with anyone that had like a permanent fish stank?
No.
Nah, bruh.
Nah, I'm good.
Well, this next one is going to go on what Jessi was talking about here, and this is called alien hand syndrome.
I love that they call it that.
I know. I
So
thought it'd be like
technical.
ghost hand or possessed hand or something.
Boy's got the devil in him.
He's got the devil in the palm of his hands. Why is every voice that we do tonight or it is a redneck? Come over here, girl.
It's easy to
I like
do.
the way you bite that bagel, boy.
At least it's not Dale Gribble or anything.
Now, being that this disorder has to do with your hand doing things that you don't, I guess your brain doesn't tell it to do. How many people you think you've been like, I'm sorry, I've got alien hand syndrome?
That's what's that? Was it Andrew Cuomo? That's how he said hello. Hey, how are you?
I'm good. Be like, I'm sorry, girl, my hand has got aliens.
That looks like you're holding balls. I don't know. You said, I'm sorry, girl.
Right, because the booty's down here, and you cup the booty. Have you ever cupped a girl's booty like down here?
Not.
I can't
Like
cup a
that
booty
far
up
under.
here. I can't cup a booty right here.
It depends on how tall the girl is.
That's true. So alien hand syndrome, it sounds like something out of a science fiction or horror tale where a hand goes rogue and doesn't do what you tell it to do. The first case of alien hand syndrome, also known as anarchic, I guess like anarchic hand, was documented in 1908 by a German psychiatrist named Kurt Goldstein. He observed the patient to have no control over her left arm, as if someone else were controlling it. This neurological disorder occurs in people who have had the two hemispheres of their brains surgically separated, or from having a stroke, or even having the human form of mad cow disease. The hand basically becomes autonomous, and the person believes it has a will of its own. And there's, of course, a lot more information about it. But Matt, weigh in on that, man. What do you think that's a real thing? I mean,
Well, I mean, like I know the opposite thing, like where, like, let's say that you're missing a limb and it feels like it's still there, like where you have a limb but you don't realize what it's doing.
Yeah.
Like I know a lot about phantom limb, but like the opposite, man, that's wild.
Yeah, I always just thought that was a really, remember the movie Idle Hands?
No.
Anybody else seen Idle Hands?
Only
That
you.
sounds familiar.
It's got Seth Green in it.
What?
Yeah, Jessica Alba is in it. I don't know. I might not be right on this, but I'm pretty sure it was like her first movie or one of her first movies.
One of her first movies
Like, was it like where he was
Punk.
killing people? Like
Punks.
his hands were doing stuff, hurting people, but he didn't realize it.
Yeah, well, right, and then he ends up, he cut at spoilers, but God, the movie came out in the '90s, but he ends up cutting his hand off, and it's running around killing people and doing it. So it's like a comedy horror movie.
I need to see this.
Oh yeah, and it does like
It's
boobs
wild.
squeezing, and it's like, but like his hand does some messed up stuff while it's attached, so he cuts it off, and then his hand, there it is.
Yeah.
Let me see Jessica Alba.
I think that was made on a really small budget too, and ended up being pretty darn. I mean, for the time, it's definitely.
It looks small budget.
It definitely represents the time in which it was made, but it was a pretty good movie.
I'm gonna watch that. I don't know how, but I'm gonna do it.
I'm sure you can find it streaming
There's
somewhere.
a will, there's a way.
Yep, that's true.
But
Spirit of mermaid in you.
so, of the diseases or the medical conditions we've discussed thus far tonight, which one would you like to have the least? Starting with Matt.
The ones I find most disturbing are the mental ones, like where like you are not of sound mind, like you're just completely gone.
So Jerusalem syndrome or something like that would be the one you'd be less excited to get.
Like when I'm out of my mind, just put me out of my misery.
Seth, what do you think, man? Which one of these is the one that you just wouldn't, you don't want none of them, obviously, but which one do you want the least?
He wants to be the human skeleton.
Yeah, that one would be weird because you'd be all like, all the time. Yeah.
That looked like those TikToks where they're like, "I'm sorry, I ran over your dog," and it's like, what do they look like? Have you seen those?
I'm telling you, we literally never see the same TikToks. I don't know what you be watching, but that's messed up.
It is, but it is kind of funny too.
No, it's
Because
not.
it's
I
like
get some bangers from Justin.
he's like, "Excuse me, I'm sorry, I think I ran over your dog," and they're like, "Oh my God, what did it look like?" And they're like, I mean, it's
I
not
get some
real,
bangers from
obviously. It's a
Justin's feed.
fake.
Yeah.
It's still messed up. But anyways.
Quick tangent. Idle Hands is available on Prime Vudu and Roku for $2.99, and the Apple Store for $3.99.
At those prices, how can we afford not to?
If anybody sees me motioning off camera too, Jessi's actually in the room with me.
Yeah.
She's right there.
I just don't see like a hand come on her into the camera.
We like touch
let's all
fingers.
touch.
Oh! It's the idle hand.
Jessi, which one of these scares you the most?
Definitely the bone one.
I'm with you. That was mine. I'm definitely with you. The bone syndrome would be because I feel like the walking corpse one of the Jerusalem syndrome. They said that most people get over it in a few days.
I wouldn't mind having that one because I need a good cleaning spree.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, it makes people clean and wear robes.
And I love wearing robes.
I like a clean house, and I feel like I'd look pretty dope in a robe.
See?
So it's kind of a win-win.
You got to get it back from Caitlin first.
Yeah, my girlfriend's upstairs wearing my robe right now.
I mean, who wouldn't? Because that thing looks comfy.
It is comfy. I think the Auto-brewing one would be. I mean, I don't think it's the worst out of all of these, but man, that would suck, man. Like, you go out and have a beer with your friends, the next thing you know, you're absolutely sloshed and you had like one beer.
Yeah. Well, is it only if you eat the yeast, though? Because you could just not eat that.
Yeah.
Which also sucks, but not as bad as your whole body being made of bone.
Gluten free for the wrong reasons.
Right?
Another one here is Perry-Romberg syndrome. Perry-Romberg syndrome, or progressive hemifacial atrophy. Matt, how do you say that? ATROPHY? Atrophy? Atrophy.
Are you saying hemifacial? Like half your face becomes like wonky?
Yeah, it says it's described as the progressive shrinkage and degeneration of the tissues beneath the skin, usually on one side of the face.
What causes that?
Oh, that's weird.
It's highly prevalent in women.
No.
But it is documented that this syndrome is an extremely rare syndrome. The disease results in the atrophying of, am I saying that right, Matt?
Atrophying
of skin and the tissues beneath it, causing the mouth and nose to deviate towards that location. Neurological, ocular, and oral disorder accompany the syndrome, and it appears to occur randomly and affects the left side of the face more than the right. Matt, there's some pictures there too. Yeah, that's...
Well, like if we're talking like half issues, like the one I see most is like when people have strokes, like one side of their face will droop because like they no longer have the like the nerves that run to their have been like essentially have been severed, so like they have like no motor control of the side of their face.
Yeah.
What was the name of it?
Pictures.
As like for that degeneration, that atrophy, I don't think I've ever seen or heard of that.
It's Perry-Romberg syndrome.
Oh, first
I'm looking this up now.
search result.
Yeah, I've never seen that. That's wild.
Oh my.
Ooh.
Oh, that's terrible. I feel bad for those people. I mean, I wonder if it ever goes back to normal.
Probably not.
And if you're listening to this and you don't plan to watch it on YouTube, feel free to be Googling this stuff and looking at it with us. Man, that's terrible.
Oh man, there's kids, dude.
Yeah, that's awful. Awful.
I think the weirdest stuff I see are the congenital abnormalities. Like just the other day, well, not the other day, but maybe a month or so ago, I had a baby that had like you have four chambers of your heart. Like there's some weird congenital abnormalities that occur like that. I think that's the weirdest stuff that I've seen and read about.
Man, that's horrible. I hate that people get that.
Yeah.
I hate when I see babies with.
Yeah, you
Can
feel
I change my answer to the worst one as that one?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
But you could be.
We still got another one or two out
Halloween.
there. Oh.
Oh, now I'm sad. Now I'm sad.
You could though.
I'm just trying to make light of the situation.
You got to look at the bright side.
I'm sure the people that are affected by that disorder would not see your
You
bright
never
side.
know.
No, the people that have it were like, oh man, I didn't think I could go for Two-Face. That'd be awesome.
See, I'm thinking they'd be like, yeah, real funny. I could watch. They would be like, no, that would be great. And like, well,
yeah. Hey, listen, glass half full. All right.
Yeah.
That's what I get for having a little empathy.
Face half shrunk.
All right, so this one's called Klein-Levin syndrome. It's an extremely rare 1 in a million sleep disorder where the afflicted sleeps for days or weeks on end.
That's a coma.
This one also.
I am afflicted.
This one also from Thought Catalog, but they also experience. So they sleep for days or weeks on end, and they also experience hypersexuality and excessive hunger. KLS is, however, not life-threatening and appears to resolve itself as the afflicted ages. There's no known
this condition.
That's just called being a teenager. You sleep all day, you're horny as hell, and you eat nonstop.
You're hungry.
That's just being a teenager.
We call that puberty where I come from.
I was going to say, that was my teenage years. I'm horny, hungry, and I want to sleep all day. I mean, and that's like every 15, 16-year-old kid. So problem solved on that one. Didn't even take any fancy doctors.
Fancy.
No, but it does say, and it's funny because it says that it goes away as you get older.
Yeah.
And it's like, of course it does, because,
Man.
now I'm just hungry all the time. I do, no, but for real, I do. I really could sleep like all day.
I didn't know where that was going.
No, for real. All of it went away except for I'm still really horny. But other than that, you grow out of it. All right, so let's see here. I don't know. That one, I'll be honest. I mean, I'm sure people that have it might disagree, but that one seems the least bad out of all of them.
Yeah.
I don't know though, because if you sleep
horny and hungry,
if you sleep for weeks or even days, when you get back up, you're not going to be able to use your legs as good.
I mean, does that mean you poop and pee yourself while you sleep?
That's a
Matt,
really
how would
good idea.
that work? If you slept for weeks, I mean, wouldn't you like pee and poop on yourself?
You'd probably need to have catheters and whatnot.
Oh, no.
tubes.
That would suck.
Oh no! Yeah,
Ugh, Matt,
Oh,
how?
no.
So, like in movies where they're like, "How long have I been out?" You know, like somebody knocks them out, and it's like, or
7 years.
they have a big injury, and it's like you've been out for 3 days. What are the odds that that person has peed and or pooped themselves?
Oh, 100%.
100%.
A lot.
10 out of 10.
People generally do well when they're out, like when they're not conscious for a couple of days and they're not being actively observed or tended to. It don't end well.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Staying with thought catalog, Alice in Wonderland syndrome.
Ooh, I want that
You
one.
need it.
It's like, we will see. It's a rare psychological disorder where the sufferers experience size distortion, increased or decreased volume of sound, and exaggerated perception. It happens in episodes and is very disorienting for the sufferer. AWIS happens when excessive electrical activity causes abnormal blood flow into the area, vision, and the part of the brain that processes texture, size, and shape, which explains the size distortion. It's frequent with childhood, but people grow out of it, although some people have reported this disorder into their 70s.
Are there any drugs that exacerbate that?
It also occurs if alkaloid is ingested.
What's alkaloid?
What is that?
Like we're talking like psychoactive drugs, like mushrooms.
No.
What is
alkaloid? Why? What did you get a new escape room?
Oh yeah, she's got it on camera.
Oh, nice.
It's my copy though. It's for me.
Oh, no, you can have my copy that you wrote over. So, side note, let me tell you what Matt does this weekend. Completely unrelated, but let's give him a little behind the scenes. So this weekend, we're playing this Walking Dead escape room game that I have, right? And like you have to solve puzzles and stuff.
You're welcome, Justin.
Thank you, Ashley. You're the best.
Holy crap.
But so we give.
You know, she made me pay her for that too.
She should have. She should have. But we give Matt, like you're supposed to be able to play this over again. We give Matt the piece of paper. And we're like, hey,
that
Matt,
puzzle sucked. I was doing you guys a
it
favor.
doesn't matter. We literally were like, Matt, do not
That
draw.
puzzle was the worst.
Do not draw on this paper. Within
I made it
3 minutes, he's over there scribbling on the paper.
And people trust him with their lives.
Oh, that's the wrong sound effect, man. It's totally. I'll give Matt props for one thing. If he destroys or loses something of yours, genuinely, he will buy you another one.
Replace it, yeah.
He lost one of my
Replace it
flip-flops at
with
the beach and bought me a new pair.
Well, he can definitely afford
At
it.
equal or greater value.
Yep. So, thank you. Did you buy that or did Ashley buy that?
I think technically Ashley ordered it, but I reimbursed her for the trouble.
As well, you should have.
Okay, so let's get back to this.
Alice in Wonderland
because-
syndrome. I would not want that one.
Dude, okay, well, that is so weird because when I was little, I used to astral project all the time. I didn't know what it was at the time. I just did it. But the way I did it,
We're going back to that, by the way, but continue.
astral projection?
Yes, I got questions.
Okay.
But go ahead.
I
Go where you're
don't,
going.
I
We'll
don't
go back to
remember
it.
a lot of it, but I do remember this. I remember how I got there. So I would lay in the bed and my eyes were closed and I would picture things getting really, really small and then getting really, really big. And it's just like, it just happens naturally. Like I wouldn't have to try. And I never knew how to explain what I was seeing to anyone. But that sounds like...
So do you... All right, so... I mean, maybe.
That is
Because it
really
does say
weird.
that they lose it as they get older. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely possible that maybe you had that.
Well,
but-
I can still do that, but it doesn't lead me to astral projection. I don't ever get to the second part of the whole thing.
All right, since it is Weird Wednesday and we talk about weird-ish here, tell me about astral projection.
Well, supposedly your spirit or whatever leaves your body, but your mind is still awake, I think. Is that lucid dreaming? No, that's astral projection.
yeah, because
okay.
lucid dreaming is where you're dreaming, but you have control of the dream.
And then you can just like you can go wherever, float around. I don't remember like experiences that I had, but I know I used to do it. And yeah, like the whole picturing the big and little things until my whole I could see like a tornado, kind of like I was inside of a tornado, is like spinning, and then I would go down into the little tube, and then I would be in the astral world. I don't know. That's what happened.
That sounds like a really interesting dream you had there.
No, I did it every night.
You don't remember where you went though?
Not really.
But I feel like that would be the whole point of astral projecting.
I didn't know what I was doing at the time.
Have you done it lately? I find it fascinating. I've definitely done a lot of reading on it, but I try to do it almost every night and it never works. But this one time, I think I might have been pregnant with Sunny. So like 4 years ago or a little more, I was trying and I actually did it. But I got so excited that I got sucked back into my body really quick. So I didn't get to do anything. If someone is just joining this conversation, they are like, what in the hell? What are they talking about?
I think I think kids do it and they don't realize it, but because it's just normal. Like, how would they know that what they're doing is like incredible, you know?
You know the danger of it though, right?
I don't want to talk about it.
You vacate your body and you leave it open to be taken over by something else.
You know, you just got to trust that the universe is taking care of you. I don't know, but listen.
I mean, you do that and like your body is open season for demons or ghosts. Haven't you ever seen Inception? Like that's the whole. Have you ever seen Insidious?
You know me better than that. I've
All
not
right,
seen
well,
that
Insidious.
movie.
That's the entire plot of that movie.
Why
is
would
that
you
this
tell me
guy's
that?
this guy's son astral projects
Can you
because he
stop?
used to do it.
I don't want to know.
And there's a demon. All right, look, just listen. This is Weird Wednesday. We talk about black-eyed kids. You can listen to the plot of a horror movie, which actually Inception's pretty good. But the thing is they say in Insidious that when you astral project, other spirits and entities can feel that there is an empty vessel nearby and it attracts. And there's one scene where like it shows just how many spirits are around his body just waiting for their chance to get into it. And like his son, he has to rescue his son because there's a demon trying to take his body over.
This is why I don't watch scary movies.
So, think about that the next time you're out there astral projecting.
No, I will not. I mean, I will, but unintentionally.
You'll think about it tonight as you go to bed.
I probably won't try to do it anymore.
I mean, Matt, what do you think about astral projecting, man? Do you think it's just dreams? Do you think it's just, what do you think?
I think it's just the mind being very suggestive, kind of like hypnosis kind of type deal.
I think that so like the logical part of me wants to say that I don't believe in astral projecting, but also there have been some when you read up on it, man, there have been some really, really hard to explain instances when it comes to astral projecting. Mm-hmm. People explaining something very detailed from like 3 rooms over, like people in the hospital that have like a heart attack and they're dying and they're able to wake up and tell you what like their mother-in-law was doing in the waiting room and something that like maybe she did that no one else, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'm not saying that it means it's real, but I'm saying like, I would love to hear a good explanation.
Pretty uncanny.
Well, one time I was, it was really late at night and I got a terrible nosebleed, which is very normal for me, but I was in the bathroom for about an hour and I couldn't even hold anything up to my nose. It was bleeding like just so profusely. So I just leaned my head over the sink and just let it drip in the sink.
And just let it ride.
That's what I had to do. And and the next day, and like Lalo, my son, he was asleep at the time. The next day we were just like out and about and he was like, "Mom, why was your nose bleeding last night?" And I was like, "What? How did you know?" So I really think that he was astral projecting and just saw it.
Was it the criminal scene in the bathroom the next day?
That's
No.
blood all over the
I
house.
cleaned it up.
Case closed.
Yeah, probably.
Medical plug into if you have a nosebleed for more than an hour, seek medical care.
Well, I would have had to seek medical care about 100 times in my life.
Is that a real thing? So like if your nose continues to bleed for over an hour, you should go see a doctor?
I would recommend it.
It's like I've had one nosebleed my whole life, and it was just because I get so dry in the winter.
He's a liar.
You know.
You lie.
No, but I'm still, what causes it? Because I just thought that was what made it common was having dry nasal cavities. Because I know that's what
It
caused
does.
mine.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
a bunch of capillaries up in the nose here.
It's
If they break, I
definitely
mean, they can.
this one time
At
at
band
band camp. No, this one time I was at the mall, and like I just said, I already get bad nosebleeds all the time anyway. But we were walking by Bath and Body Works, and they had those like sample lotions, and I like opened one, and I went to like squeeze it a little bit so I could like waft it in my nose, and it squirted a whole glob of lotion in my nose, and my nose literally I was in the bathroom for about an hour. It was bad.
So that caused your nose to bleed?
Yes.
The lotion in your nostrils?
Because I was like that trying to smell it as it was shooting into my nose, and I don't really know, but
Oh, you probably sucked half of that up to your brain.
it was funny. That's probably what's wrong with me.
At least your brain is moist.
I got be wise, moisturize.
Exfoliate that brain. I'm not dumb. I just ain't
Don't
moisturized
get her
my
to cough
brain
too
in a
hard, she'll
while.
bleed.
Jeez.
If she laughs or snorts too hard, she'll bleed. Be careful, Justin.
If I snort too much cocaine.
Damn.
Just kidding. No, it is worse in the wintertime though, so that probably
Like I said, I mean, other than of course I've had my nose busted, but as far as just sitting there doing something and all of a sudden you're like, oh crap, and your nose is bleeding. That's happened one time, and it really wasn't but like a year or two ago, and it's like it bled for like 20 minutes, just nonstop. I'm like using tissues. It was wild. I was like, is this what people go through?
Yeah, it's bad.
Matt, do you have nosebleeds?
I can't remember the last time I've had one. It's been a while, but like especially out in Wyoming when it was really dry, I'd get bad in the winter.
Seth?
Yeah, in the wintertime, my nose dries out and I get them.
That is so
Tilt your
weird.
head. You gotta tilt your head forward, not back.
You think about our
Yeah.
climate, it's so humid in the summer, and it's just
Yeah.
crazy humid all the time, and then you go from that to like next to no humidity, and it really messes with your body.
Yeah.
They
But
say
I'm just sitting here thinking about how weird it is that like all these terrible nosebleeds that I have, like they seem normal to me, but like that's not normal. I'm just now realizing this.
that
Yeah, it's not
frequent
normal.
Not normal.
nosebleeds are. I thought it was fairly normal. It's not, because I mean
Mine-
I've known a lot of people who have like frequent nosebleeds. so I
Mine are
asked.
just so ridiculously bad. I literally every time I get a nosebleed, I just have to hold my nose over a sink or a toilet. Cause
And just let it ride.
yeah, I mean, cause I would be using globs and globs of
Didn't
paper.
you have a picture on your MySpace of
Yeah.
you hanging over a toilet with a toilet filled with blood?
I actually did get busted in the nose that night, so that was
Okay, so that one.
because somebody hit me. We were doing the chicken dance at a wedding.
And somebody popped you in the nose while doing the chicken
Yes.
dance?
It was all in good fun.
Pop, pop, pop.
Yeah, that's how it went.
Like they
Clap,
hit you
clap,
all
clap,
3
clap.
times. Pop, pop, pop.
Yeah. It's like, sorry.
You know, the first one I thought was an accident. The second one I thought, okay, this is getting suspicious. By the third one, I'm pretty sure you meant to
This
do
is
that.
weird.
Pretty sure you got it out for me.
I still think the stone man syndrome is the
Yeah.
one that scares me the most. But I sometimes have vertigo issues.
Oh,
So the thought of the Alice in Wonderland does kind of freak me out because I know when my vertigo, which it happens like once every couple of years, it's not very frequent, but when it happens, I mean, it really is debilitating. Like you cannot sit up. You can't do anything. Like if I try to sit up, you'll literally just keep going that way.
What?
Have you never had any vertigo?
no.
Have you all had
No.
vertigo?
Mm.
I've had it, I think, 3 times in my life. First time I got it, I was like 23, 24. And I remember I sat up to go to work. And I'm not kidding you, like in a comedy movie. Like I sat up and I just kept going. And you have no control. Like there's stuff in your inner ear moving around. So
That's
it's like
crazy.
you start the motion this way and like it's not, I don't know, like you just keep going. It's a scary
I've
feeling,
had that.
really.
Yeah, I had that. I
you've had
remember
that?
distinctly one time, like I was walking into the school, into college, and I remember like also like I just went over sideways.
Yeah. Yeah.
Did
Like
you?
man, that
Did you fall?
no, I caught myself like at first
Oh.
I felt myself like I was going to the side. I'm like, well, that can't be good. I probably should get seen for that. And then I never saw nobody for it.
They have I've been told there's an eye. So what you can do, it's all about some kind of crystals in your, not mystical crystals, like real crystals
They're
in your
mystical.
inner ear. And like there's a way that they can move your head to line them up, but they also say there are eye exercises that you can do online. I've talked to other people that suffer from vertigo, and they've said that it really does help. And it's just like the way you follow with your eyes, it helps kind of. But I'm telling you, man, I've only had it 2 or 3 times, but I had to call in sick last year around this time. It was like January, February, because
crazy.
I sat up and literally just fell over on the Caitlin.
What did you tell him when you called?
I'm having a vertigo attack.
I sat up and I kept sitting up until I won't sitting up no more.
And all of a sudden, there was like you two in the back. With
You call
vertigo.
my employer, you're like, hey, boss, man, I'm sick. Like, well, how sick are you?
I remember telling them, I said, if you don't know what vertigo is, just Google it. It's terrible. But let us know which one you'd be the most scared of. So Jessi, that's Stone Man Syndrome.
Yeah.
That's what you and I say. Matt says
Anything mental freaks me out.
And Seth says the face thing. Is that still your answer, Seth?
Yeah. Well, no, well, yeah, that was
The
pretty
bone
rough, too.
condition.
Yeah, that would be, yeah.
You're not giving us much to choose from. They're all pretty bad.
Yeah, they are pretty terrible.
But I think that the stone one, you'd probably be in the most pain. That's why I picked that one.
Because you'd be all lumpy.
Yeah.
You got a lumpy butt.
Girl, you all lumpy.
I told my teacher she had a lumpy butt.
You knows I like them bumpy.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's
I like my woman
man.
like I like my biscuits and gravy.
Sausage.
Now I want to listen to U2 Vertigo.
I don't listen to anything you do.
Me either.
Well,
Not a big fan.
Ever since South Park said that he was the biggest piece of crap.
What Vertigo, is that the one on the Tomb Raider soundtrack?
I think so.
Ugh. I've just never been a big U2 fan, man. They just never really spoken to me.
They didn't float your boat.
No, and I think a lot of their songs sound alike. But anyways,
Yeah.
make sure to subscribe, check out our Patreon, and go support the channel. Link is in the description. I do put the Patreon. Hey, no, you know what? I didn't put the Discord link, but I put the Patreon link in every
What
single
Discord link?
the one
We
that
don't
you
even
sent.
use that Discord.
Oh, what is the thing you made for us then? What is it called?
The link tree.
Linktree. I might forget to put Linktree, but I do put the Patreon link.
You're like you forget to put the
I
one
do
link that puts
declare.
ties it to everything.
All right, well, send that to me and I'll put it in there.
It's in our chat,
Look, man,
bruh.
it's all I can do to be on the podcast. I'm just going to hire Seth to be our manager.
Hey, are you going to pay him?
I'm going to pay him with lots of praise and motivation.
And love. Loving.
Don't go that far now. I said praise and motivation.
Okay.
Love may come down the road, but you know,
I made this wonderful thing.
Jessi, we need to recreate that picture with you and I, and then impose it. And then we need to recreate it with like you and Matt, like just everybody stealing mics from each other and just make one big collage.
I thought you guys were wringing each other's necks this whole time.
No, I was covering the mic because JP was probably saying something that would get us banned.
He would.
JP really came a long way. Like long before we even started the podcasting day, when he would do J's for days, there were some times where I really had to go in there and cut some stuff out that he had said. Because I
You
was
must
like,
be 18 to view this content.
yeah. Especially after
we talk
Jesse's
about
drunk cast
farts.
and sexual activity.
Hey, I actually paid my Patreon.
I saw.
Yeah.
Poor thing. I don't know how to, I would love to give you a free pay. I don't know how to do this. JP started the
it's
Patreon.
$1. I did the dollar option because
JP started the Patreon and I post to it, but I don't know. God, I have not used our Twitter. We really didn't use Twitter.
Twitter?
It shows July 24th,
what year?
19.
That's not as far back as I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be back in 2015. You should find Jesse's old MySpace page. It's emo AF.
It is.
It is prime, early 2000s emo.
I'm very proud of it. Okay?
Eyeliner, the cool hair, and the emo quotes.
Man, I was cool as all get out.
If you could slit my throat. What is that line with my one last gasping breath? I'd apologize
for breeding
on your shirt.
For breeding. I'm sorry for breeding.
You slit their throat and they start humping your shirt. For breeding on.
It's too late for me, y'all.
But thank you so much for listening. Hopefully you enjoyed it. This one was a little different, but being that we had Matt on here, which we, love to have Matt on all of them, but Matt is a medical guy, so I figured, hey, some medical conditions.
We
It'd be
all,
right up
we
his
all
alley.
know how the medical field is these days.
It is out there.
He's a busy man.
Sucks.
The medical field is so wonderful. Matt's considering going another route.
Just throwing away all those years. What have y'all been saying this whole time? I'm
conflicted.
I am
conflicted.
conflicted.
Have we described that story to Jessi yet?
No, I don't know this.
We'll describe it off the camera. It's a little bit of an inside thing.
I'm just gonna go ahead and start quoting y'all's inside joke without even knowing what it's about.
You need to show the Photoshop too that I did the other day.
Yeah, I will. It was good.
Oh, I thought you meant
God.
of him sleeping, like you actually did.
No, that is going to be a work in progress eventually.
Oh, Grandpa over
do with
here.
that yet.
Whatever.
We were
man.
worried. We thought you genuinely died. We were like, is he alive?
No, I.
Yeah, Matt.
I
I saw where Jessi was the one that was like, "Is he okay?"
Friends like Justin come and go. It's fine.
No way, dude.
True that.
Don't.
I
say
told
that.
you I'm that Jean Lajoie song.
No.
I'll play it again.
You'll never come and go from my life.
Air 5. Hold on, 5 onto your camera.
Oh, it's the hand.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, this one's been weird. It's I always feel like my video podcasts are never as good as the audio because I'm too busy watching everybody else.
I know.
Like getting distracted and getting off track. So this whole video podcasting thing is still kind of new to me, but because I'm used to when we do it the other way, I can't see us. Like I let the cameras record and then
you
click
just
away
go.
and then we just go. But anyways, thanks so much for joining.
We'll have a fantastic foursome now.
Yay. What is behind you?
It's Matt laid out on the bed.
It's his feet.
He's doing the rabbit challenge on. You see where the people's feet go up behind their head?
Oh, Matt, can you please
do your butt.
Matt, can you please put your hands like this under your chin? No, like this. Fold them. There you go. Now kick your feet back and forth.
Oh, hold on.
Like, what you doing? Nothing. What you doing? Just thinking about you and stuff. Oh, right. You definitely need to go to YouTube and check that. What was that?
Fantastic foursome time. Come get in the pile.
Get in the pile. Yeah. But thank you so much for listening. Consider subscribing. Consider going to Patreon and just bear with us as we learn the ins and outs of video podcasting.
Speaking of Friday nights.
Oh, and Friday nights. Yes. Yeah. Follow Seth. Sorry, I'm terrible. Seth, tell him about your show.
Terrible.
I am terrible.
We do Pop Culture Corner. It's a weekly Friday night show where we just get together, have a few drinks, chill out, and talk about what's happening in the world. And then Saturday mornings, I play video games.
For the 15,000th time, goodbye. Have a great night. Check out Seth's channel, The Men's Room. Check out our links below. If Seth sends me a copy of his link, I'll put it in our link below so you can follow it and go to his channel. Matt doesn't have a link except for his OnlyFans, but if he sends me that, I'll put it in the bottom page.
Send me that, and I'll put it over on the link tree.
Okay. Send you what? Matt's
OnlyFans.
OnlyFans? Okay.
Yeah.
And then
I'll put it on
there's a lot more
tree.
Seductive pictures of me in my bed here.
Yeah.
It's just like that, only
we can
he's naked.
Put whoever's TikToks, we can do everything. We
It's
can
like
advertise
nipples.
all that.
It's balls.
Well, Matt does have 3 nipples, so I mean, it would be an interesting OnlyFans.
Prove it.
The weird thing is the other one is on one of his butt cheeks, so if you're really desperate, it looks like a boob.
Hey,
how do you know this?
Because these
wouldn't it be a
shows
medical thing? We could put it on YouTube. It's medical.
We could, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a medical.
I want to see that next time you're around.
I have the first known case of butt boobs.
Why are we waiting for?
Oh yeah, show us now. This is the medical.
It's medical. It's YouTube.
We're already over time.
Susan Wojcicki, just chill out. It's medical.
It lactates as well.
Oh,
I'm already
what?
off the clock. I'm not getting paid anymore.
Whenever Matt's wearing shorts and you see milk running down his leg, you know his butt boob is
Oh
like.
my
My butt-
god!
My butt boobies is lactating.
This is the worst podcast we've done since Weird Wednesday started.
Let's go.
back.
Yeah.
All
Is
right.
this gonna get edited
I'm
out?
calling it.
Um,
No.
I don't know if I'm gonna post it tonight. Nothing will get
Photoshop.
edited
Don't-
out, but
Don't
Post a
edit it
picture of
out.
butt boob.
Oh, it's so-
thumbnail.
Draggy. Goodbye.
Bye.
Just
Peace.
be there.
Goodbye.
Adios.
Matt and Dub saying
Good night, job
goodnight.
boy.